It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at the films of April 21st, 2004. April 23rd to be exact. I'm sorry, I misread the date on here, but April 23rd, 2004. We got three films to look at, so let's go ahead and get right to it. And I mentioned this on the last episode, but it's got to be said again. You want to know what the best Punisher movie released in April of 2004 was? This film right here.
There were 24 kidnappings in Mexico City in the last 6 days. Have you protected a lot of children before, Mr. Creasy?
Yeah, I don't know. Bodyguards gotta be close to people. You know, I'm no good at that.
You're the silent type. People are gonna appreciate that.
16 years of military experience, extensive counter-terrorism work.
What happened to your hand?
It's a birth defect.
No, it's not.
No more questions. That's it. Period. You hear me?
Peter just wants to be friends. I regret that your profession needs to exist.
So do I, Marjorie.
He's like a bear.
Yeah?
Big, sad bear. Good things happen too, Creasy.
Yeah? Like what?
Like meeting me. Creasy, you're smiling.
Peter! Peter! Run!
I didn't give it to you.
I'm gonna go get her. Anyone who gets in my way, anybody who profits from it, anybody who opens their eyes at me, I'm gonna kill him.
Tell me about Creasy. I'd like to understand him. A man can be honest in anything.
It depends on how good he is at it. Creasy's art is death. He's about to paint his masterpiece.
That is, of course, Man on Fire, which stars Denzel Washington as John Creasy, a despondent alcoholic former CIA SAD-SOG officer turned bodyguard who goes on a revenge rampage against after his charge, a 9-year-old girl played by Dakota Fanning, is abducted in Mexico City. You also have a cast that includes Christopher Walken, Radha Mitchell, Giancarlo Gianni, Mark Anthony, Rachel DeContin, and also Mickey Rourke. And directed by Tony Scott, written by Brian Helgeland. The pieces are there for a great, great film, and that's exactly what this movie is. This is without a doubt one of Denzel Washington's best movies. I mean, this is a film that is just incredible to watch. It's a film that is so much better presented as a Punisher story than the Punisher movie that came out. But besides that, it's just a really engaging thriller. Denzel Washington, I've said it before and I'll say it again, he is one of our greatest actors of all time, if not the greatest actor of all time. I mean, the dude, we just had a Gladiator 2 trailer come out around the time I'm recording this, and I think that movie looks absolutely horrible, but the one thing that's got me eager to at least, gets me to at least pay attention to it, is Denzel Washington, because you don't put Denzel Washington in a sequel to Gladiator and not let him do whatever he wants, and he's the one thing that may actually, honestly, make me want to see that movie. I doubt it'll happen, but he's the one thing that I really liked about that trailer that just came out recently. But that's the power of Denzel Washington. Even in a movie that's not that great, he will usually give 110%. And in a film where he's really great like this, he's given it his all. I mean, this is a great film. And even greater than that, man, Dakota Fanning in this movie. Like, she has been a rising star in stuff like Uptown Girls and The Cat in the Hat. But this is the movie where you're literally going head-to-head with a heavyweight in Denzel Washington. And her performance in this movie, just in that trailer alone, just gives you an indication of how she stacks up with Denzel Washington here. She is absolutely incredible. And it just shows the power that she has as a little kid actress going around this time period. I mean, she was on a roll at this point, and It was cool to see them reunite again in The Equalizer 3, and a movie I like those Equalizer movies, but that third one, I really liked that they had the connection between those two again in that movie. But this film right here is just an amazing film, a lot of great performances, great action overall. You've got everything that needs for this to work. Tony Scott, who's a great director in general, has made a lot of really solid films, very rarely has really missed the mark. There's been a couple exceptions here or there, even with Denzel Washington too. But we'll get to those ones, and we'll get to the next pairing of these two, which is Deja Vu. But him, a script by Ryan Helgeland, who's written some of the best movies of the last 10 years up to this point, with L.A. Confidential. I mean, just the pieces are definitely there, and this is just an engaging, entertaining thriller that was not well appreciated by the critics when it came out. It actually got mixed reviews, but since then, it has gone on to have the appraisal that it definitely deserves, the reappraisal it definitely deserves, because it is definitely one of the best thrillers I've ever seen. It's a really great film, terrific cast, terrific action, terrific dramatic elements, great writing, great direction, great acting. Just what more can I say, man? Man on Fire is a friggin' masterpiece. I love this movie. I can't recommend it enough. If you haven't seen it, seek it out. It's one of Denzel's best films. It's an amazing, amazing film. So with that said, let's go ahead and move on to another movie that is a surprisingly really entertaining movie, and that is Jennifer Garner starring in 13 Going on 30.
Eric couldn't grow up fast enough.
Smile, sweetie.
Don't you knock?
Are you wearing a bra?
You're not Dad, stop taping.
So on her 13th birthday,
Check this out. Wishing test.
she only made one wish.
I hate being 13. I just want to be grown up.
And she woke up 17 years later.
Hey, sweet Bob. Wasn't mine yet.
Something really freaky is happening here. I slept in an apartment I've never seen before. There was a naked man in my shower, and I saw his...
Now she's got a lot of catching up to do.
Repeat after me. I am Jenna Rank, Big Time Magazine editor. I am? Eminem's on the phone. He wants a decision now. Please.
Peanut.
Is there anything else you need from me? Actually, I need to find this guy.
Dad, it's me.
Jenna, why are you here?
Yesterday was my 13th birthday, and
Today,
I woke up and I'm this. There's something really weird going on.
One woman will discover
I like your dress. It's because I've got these incredible boobs to fill it out.
she's truly a kid at heart.
It's 11 o'clock on a school night and I'm at a party. It's so cool. It's 11 o'clock and people are leaving. Maybe if somebody played something other than this.
Honey, play whatever you want to.
Maddie, it's Thriller!
Revolution Studios presents
You want to know a secret?
Yeah.
You're the sweetest guy I've ever known.
And I just floated home on a cloud. That is so romantic.
Jennifer Garner, Mark Ruffalo. 13, going on 30.
Mr. Hottie behind you is totally scamming on you. Should I go talk to him? I actually came over here because I think you're really cute.
So do you want to go out sometime?
We're gonna take off now. But you want to go to jail? I'm a bad guy. Man, gross.
You see Blank Check? That's how you make that funny. You don't have it where Karen Duffy's literally kissing a little kid at the end of the movie like their boyfriend and girlfriend. It's like, no, that's creepy as hell. What they do there is really good, and that's just the charm of this movie. 13 Going on 30 is, of course, the film starring Jennifer Garner, where she's a 13-year-old girl in 1987 who wakes up to find herself suddenly 30 years old and living in 2004 as a fashion editor. And, with a great director like Gary Winnick, who unfortunately was taken from us way too soon. He died in 2011. And he had a couple of really good movies under his plate. I mean, this and Charlotte's Web, which, again, another great movie with Dakota Fanning in it. Then his career kind of died down with a really bad movie in Bridesmaids and a so-so film in Letters to Juliet. And then that was it. He died at the age of 49 years old, which is a shame because this is a guy that has been had a roller coaster directing career. I mean, this is the guy that also did the infamous Tadpole, which was, no, I'm sorry, I keep getting that confused with Tiptoe, which was that terrible movie with Kate Beckinsale and Gary Oldman as a mini person, a little person, mini person. Good lord, but no, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. I apologize for that, but there has been some good hits with him as the director, and this is definitely one of his best movies ever. I mean, this is a really good film that is very reminiscent of something like Big, which, of course, I think that's what Jennifer Garner was trying to do with this, because, of course, Tom Hanks, his career took off when he starred in Big. Like, his career was already on the rise when Big came out, but Big was the film that just took him to the stratosphere and made him the superstar, the Oscar winner that we know him as today. And Jennifer Garner probably was hoping that this was going to do the same thing for her. And she's really good in the movie. She's such a charm to watch in here. She's amazing. She's really funny. Like, she shows a lot of the reasons why she actually can be a really good actress. But after this, she never really did anything that was ever as good as this. Now, granted, she's been in some good movies, some really good movies, some underrated movies, actually. The Kingdom, I think, is a really good underrated movie. Ghost of Girlfriend's Past, I think, is a very underrated film. Dallas Buyers Club, Juno, great films. But then she does stuff like, Valentine's Day and the Bad Arthur remake, The Odd Life of Timothy Green, Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day, Family Switch, Wonder Park, Peppermint, 9 Lives, and Mother's Day. Like, what happened, man? Like, she was on her way to having a really good film career, and then afterwards, after like 2009, it really just came cratering down after that, which it's a shame because she still has a lot of charisma and a lot of charm, and she is a really good actress, but she just kept picking really bad movies one after another, and she never really had that spark that Tom Hanks had after Big, where he could just, his presence in a movie, even if it was a bad film, could really elevate it to another level. I mean, this is the guy that follows Big up with The Burbs, and then even something like The Bonfire of the Vanities, which is not a great movie. He's really good. He is one of the stronger things in it. Like, I don't know. I mean, I find it kind of weird that she never really took off with anything truly spectacular. But there were a couple of good movies here and there, some criminally underrated movies too. But the film is just really well done. Mark Ruffalo is very good in the film. Judy Greer has a really good performance. This is actually the first time I ever saw her in anything. Andy Serkis, Gollum, has a really fun little role here. It's a fun, charming film that just has a lot of great elements to it. It's a really well-made film, a beautifully put-together storyline, and it has a nice heart to it. It's a really solid movie that I really don't think gets the proper respect it deserves, honestly. And like I said, you would think that this would be the start of Jennifer Garner going that Tom Hanks, taking that next step into becoming an overall great actress, but the films she followed after this were very hit and miss, but the hits are really good. The misses, though, are really, really bad. But this is definitely one of the big hits of hers. This is a great, great film. I really love this movie. It's another one that I think you need to check out, honestly. It's a film that you should have checked out by now, but if you haven't, definitely give it a shot. It's actually really, really good. So with that said, let's go ahead and move on to our last movie, and that is Clifford's Really Big Movie.
He's the biggest, he's the reddest, and he's coming your way.
Hey, it's Clifford!
It's Clifford, the big red dog.
Hello there. I don't believe it.
He's got to be the biggest dang dog I've ever seen.
In his very first film.
We need something big and something that people have never seen before.
It's Clifford's Really Big Movie. Join the world's most lovable dog as he goes on his biggest adventure ever.
Then let's get ready to rumble.
We're not gonna let you go on a great big adventure without us.
Hop on board with T-Bone, Cleo,
Isn't showbiz great?
and a brand new pack of friends.
Hey, that's us. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's Clifford's Really Big Movie.
Always with the big.
The big red dog with the big red heart is unleashed.
Full speed ahead.
Whoa. I can't wait.
That's a whole lot of red.
Clifford's Really Big Movie.
I find it kind of odd that John Ritter, who plays Clifford in this, like, you saw the trailer, he doesn't really talk all that much in this trailer, which is really surprising. I know he just died a couple months before this movie came out, but this movie had been in the can at that point, and you would think that they would have something there, but no, this is Clifford's Really Big Movie, which is, of course, based off of the PBS kids show, which was around at the start of 2000. And the show did actually end because John Ritter passed away. And I guess they decided not to continue producing any episodes. I think also the kid from Caillou also died around this time, too. So it was a really bad time for kids involved in PBS shows. But as you see here, the film depicts Clifford, who, after mistakenly believes his owners are spending too much on his dog food, decides to join a traveling animal show that will provide the winner a lifetime supply of the dog food. So it's really not that grand of a story for most mass audiences. This is something that's clearly made specifically for kids, but I'll give it this: the animation looks really, really good. I mean, this is another one of those animated movies that you could tell they glossed it up big time for the big screen, because the show had pretty standard animation overall, but when you look at this and you see what they're capable of doing here, it's just like, wow, I can't believe the budget on this looks actually pretty good, all things considered. And you got a lot of the same people from the TV show, you know, not just John Ritter, but Cree Summer, Kel Mitchell, Gray DeLisle. I keep screwing up her name. I keep doing this. Gray Delisle. Okay. I'm sorry. I know this is the second time I've done this, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. I don't know why I keep screwing that up, but she plays Emily Elizabeth, who's really good. Really good. You also have also a pretty solid ensemble, including Wayne Brady, who has a really fun role in here. Jenna Elfman, John Goodman, Judge Reinhold, Jess Harnell, of course, Wacko from Animaniacs, Nick Jameson, Wilma Valderrama, Ernie Hudson. There is a lot of good talent involved in here, and like I said, the animation overall is really, really good. I mean, this is really solid animation all around here for a show that really, I definitely was a little bit too old for Clifford the Big Red Dog, obviously, but even though I did watch some PBS, mostly because of Arthur on at the time, but yeah, this is clearly something made for kids, and for kids, it's fine for what it is. I mean, I give it credit for the much higher quality animation overall. I also think that this is weird too. One of the writers is Rhett Reese, and that name may not sound too familiar, but you're definitely going to remember him from the movies that I'm going to list here, because this is the guy that wrote stuff for Zombieland, G.I. Joe Retaliation, Deadpool, Deadpool 2, Deadpool and Wolverine. It's incredible to think that he was one of the writers on here. He also wrote a lot of stuff that you've seen before. Dinosaur, Monsters Incorporated. He even wrote for like Cruel Intentions 3, Tarzan 2. Like, the guy basically has a lot of range as a writer in general. I thought that was kind of amusing when I saw his name attached to this as the screenwriter here. And like I said, it's a movie clearly made for kids, but a fun movie made for kids. I think kids can watch this. It's very harmless stuff. It's not going to ruin your kids. It's not going to ruin your kids' intelligence by any means necessary. Is now comparing it to the live action film, I would say that this is definitely better, but not by that much. Even though the live action film clearly has I thought the live action film was actually not that bad. I thought it was kind of fun for what it was trying to do. For a kids movie of that caliber, I thought that was fine, but yeah, but this is about as fine for kids as you can get. It's nothing too spectacular, nothing too amazing, but it's a good fun time for them. For them, they're going to enjoy it a lot. For the parents, it's one of those movies where it's a cinematic babysitter, but unlike something like Despicable Me 4, there's nothing about this movie that's really harmless and actually doesn't insult their intelligence or their humor, but it's a good fun watch for the kids. And so with that said, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies, and we head into one of the pivotal weeks of 2004, at least in my life, because we've got 5 movies to look at here. We have Lindsay Lohan starring in Mean Girls with Rachel McAdams, Lacey Chabert, Amanda Seyfried, Tina Fey, of course, wrote the film. We also have Pierce Brosnan and Julianne Moore in Laws of Attraction, Robert De Niro, Rebecca Romijn, and Greg Kinnear in the horror thriller Godsend, Ben Stiller and Jack Black in Barry Levinson's Envy, and Jim Caviezel in Bobby Jones' Stroke of Genius, coming just a few weeks after The Passion of the Christ. And it's a notable week because one of these movies is the first movie that I ever went to go see on my own in a movie theater. I've talked about it before, but if you haven't guessed it, try to guess which one it is. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised on which one it is. But, yeah, so this one's going to be a fun week to talk about next time around, so be on the lookout for that. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, Please hit the plays on the next page, check out the previous episode, and also don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this on this channel. So with that said, I am off. I will see you guys next time, and until then, as always, take care.